My name is Zoe. I've been married to my childhood friend, Oliver, for 10 years. We grew up in the same environment and have been familiar with each other, so we've been leading a peaceful married life without any major troubles so far. However, if there's one thing that worries me, it's Oliver's sister, Emily. For the past year or so, she's been coming to our house unannounced, and I'm at my wit's end because I can't refuse her visits outright. I've never been fond of Emily. She's always been strong-willed and forceful, the typical bossy type. She's nothing like Oliver, who has a calm personality. Her selfish actions and words have always stirred up those around her. Oliver doesn't seem to like Emily either. I've never seen them getting along. Emily got married a few years ago. Her husband was a local guy, considerably older than her. They seemed to be doing well for a while, but they divorced a year ago. I heard it was because her husband couldn't tolerate her spending habits anymore. Instead of returning to her parents' house after the divorce, she inexplicably started living near our apartment. And on weekends, she comes to our apartment, behaving as if it were her own, without a care in the world. She stays for hours and even expects us to prepare dinner, not just lunch. I've tried hinting that her weekly visits are inconvenient, but she just brushes it off, saying, "Don't be so uptight. We're practically family, aren't we?" Oliver has also spoken to her quite firmly. "Stop coming over every week." "Why not? Aren't we just the two siblings? We have our own lives. Frankly, it's bothersome." "That's so mean. Being alone on weekends is lonely, you know? Can't you understand that much?" "Then go back to our parents' house." "No way. I can't stand the idea of living with my parents in the countryside. Still, it's not right to constantly invade our home, is it?" "What? Are those words you're saying to your sister who's been hurt by divorce? Are you really that heartless?" "Hurt by divorce? Looking at your audacious attitude, I find it hard to believe, but whatever." But arguing back would only make things worse. In the end, we can't prevent Emily's visits, so we reluctantly let her in. Eventually, Emily became more brazen, asking, "Can you drive me? I need to go shopping." And she started saying things like, "I'm staying over today," talking endlessly and doing as she pleased. She even began rummaging through the houses, starting a begging attack for various items. "Hey, Zoe, do you have any clothes or bags you don't use anymore? I'll take them off your hands by next week." "Well, I don't like to keep unnecessary things." "You're so stingy." "What about the TV? Isn't it time for an upgrade? I'll take it off your hands." "No, it's not time for that yet." What about jewelry? You don't use it often, right?" "Sis, cut it out." "But I only have one income, so life is tough for me. You guys both work, so you must have a lot of money. Can't you consider my situation a little? It's pitiful not being able to buy what I want, you know? That's your own fault, isn't it?" "Emily, you've been too extravagant. I heard you even made your ex-husband angry." I had to desperately swallow the words that were almost out of my mouth. I couldn't help but feel despair at the thought of continuing to put up with Emily's selfishness. But then, something unbelievable happened. It was one weekend. Oliver and I were planning to go to a concert together for the first time in a while, so we were getting ready. However, despite knowing that we were going out, Emily showed up. "Hi guys. We told you yesterday that we'd be going out today, didn't we? It's fine. I'll stay here and watch over the house properly, so you two can go out without worry. It's inconvenient. Please leave today. But this house is more comfortable than my own room. Plus, I brought food today, so don't worry about me." "Sis, cut it out. Please leave. If you're worried, I can hold on to a spare key. That should put your mind at ease, right?" "There's no way I'm giving you a spare key. Then I won't leave this place until you two come back. That shouldn't be a problem, right?" "Hey Oliver, we need to leave soon or we'll be late." Yeah. Stop dawdling. You should go soon." We had no choice but to leave, despite our anxiety. We couldn't even fully enjoy the concert because we were worried about the houses. After the concert, we had dinner reservations, but we couldn't relax and hurried home. When we returned home, Emily was sound asleep on the living room sofa. There were plastic bags and wrapping paper strewn about on the table. Leftover snacks and appetizers were scattered on the floor, and there was an empty wine bottle rolling around. Oliver and I had no choice but to clean up instead of basking in the afterglow of the concert. We only sighed heavily, unable to find any words. After that day, Emily continued to visit on weekends as usual. However, there seemed to be a change in her attitude since that day, and occasionally she started bringing souvenirs. "Isn't this from that famous pastry chef? Are you sure you're giving me this?" "Don't be shy. It's just a small token of appreciation for always taking care of me. Thank you. What's up with her? It feels kind of creepy. I hope nothing weird happens. Unfortunately, bad feelings tend to come true. The souvenir Emily brought had a shocking secret. Maybe it was about 2 months later, I received a call from my sister for the first time in a while. Nova, it's been a while. How have you been? I'm the same as always, but I have something to ask you today. What? You seem serious. Hey Zoe, sorry if this offends you. Are you having money troubles lately? Huh? What do you mean? If you are, I want to help. So please tell me honestly. I couldn't believe what my sister was saying. About 5 years ago, when Oliver's company went bankrupt and he was unemployed for a while, my sister had given me her credit card. She said it might come in handy in case of emergencies, so I did accept it at the time, but I've never used it. However, the credit card company had billed her for over $20K. Luckily, Oliver found a new job, so I plan to give her back the credit card someday, and I should have kept it safely in my jewelry case. I hurried to my room and checked inside the jewelry case, but the credit card wasn't there. Sis, I'm sorry. I can't find the credit card I was supposed to keep safe. I'm sure I put it away. What? You lost it? I can't find it where it's supposed to be. What should I do? Got it. I'll immediately suspend the credit card's use, so don't worry. But there have been bills, right? So that means someone used it, right? That's right. But don't worry. We'll look into it thoroughly from this end. To think such a large sum of money was used without my knowledge, I couldn't stop trembling with an unknown fear. Later, Nova contacted me, and it turned out that her card was being used for online shopping. And amazingly, all the items purchased were being sent to Emily's address. So, Emily was using Nova's card, huh? That seems to be the case. It means she stole it from Zoe's room. Any idea when she might have taken it? Right. It might have been that day. I couldn't think of any other time besides that day when we left Emily behind while going out to the concert with Oliver. Was Emily searching every around through the empty house while we were gone? Come to think of it, on that day, I remember feeling like the items in the room were in different places than usual. Well, then it's settled. Emily's the culprit. That woman won't get away with this. Shouldn't I confirm with Emily directly? It's better not to. She might just dodge the issue. I'll personally talk to her and get to the bottom of this. Can I come over soon? Of course. Oh, I just remembered. We're planning to have Oliver's birthday party next week. Why don't we invite Emily for that day? Will you come too, Nova? A birthday party? Then it won't seem odd if I'm there. Let's do that. It was difficult to bring up, but I also told Oliver about my sister's lost credit card and how Emily seemed to be the only suspect. Oliver was furious. I'll make sure she never does anything wrong again, he exclaimed with fervor. And then, on Oliver's birthday party day, Emily arrived at our house in high spirits. She handed over a package, saying it was a gift for Oliver. When we opened it, there was a branded wallet inside. Can I really accept something so expensive? Oliver's turning 36, so he should have something of this quality. Did I inconvenience you? Oh no, not at all. I didn't do anything wrong. You'll be the one paying, Zoe. What? What do you mean? I paid with the card I borrowed from Zoe, so it's fine, haha. So, Emily, you're the one who stole the credit card? Don't say such nasty things. I only borrowed it. You stole it on the day you said you'd stay home, right? Putting it in the jewelry case, leaving it so vulnerable is practically an invitation. But seriously, spending other people's money without a care in the world is fantastic. I shuddered at Emily's smirk, devoid of remorse. Then, Oliver, who hadn't said a word until then, spoke up. Are you sane? What you did was theft. No. Well, I'm just saying I borrowed it. I don't recall lending it to you. Oh, I just meant to borrow it. In cases like this, the borrower isn't responsible. Don't you know that? What nonsense are you talking about? You're both so clueless. In cases like this, the obligation to pay falls on the lender. So Zoe, as the cardholder, you'll have to pay. Got it? This is beyond belief. As Nova had feared, it seemed Emily was planning to wriggle out of it. At that moment, the doorbell rang. Nova had arrived. Oliver, happy birthday. Thanks for the invitation. Oh, you're Zoe's sister, right? Emily, it's been a while. Since Zoe's wedding, right? Why are you here today? Did you come all the way here just for Oliver's celebration? That's part of it, but I actually have another purpose. Emily, there's something I want to ask you. Me? What on earth are you talking about? You don't seem calm at all. Let me be direct. Emily, did you steal a credit card from Zoe's room and use it to make purchases without permission? Oh, that, I already explained earlier. I just borrowed it from Zoe. Accusing me of stealing it is just absurd. Even at this point, Emily still insists that she only borrowed the card from me. Emily, did you check whose name is on the card? The name? Well, obviously it's Zoe's, isn't it? It seems there's a misunderstanding. That card is actually under my sister Nova's name. Huh? What do you mean? Though it was years ago, my sister, Nova, entrusted me with the card. That's how. It's quite audacious to think you could use it without confirming the owner, isn't it? Lending my sister's card to someone like you, Emily, who has hardly any connection with her, is unthinkable, right? What? But when I shop online, all I need to enter is the card number. You're slipping up now. Do you admit to using that card? Well, because Zoe lent it to me. Zoe wouldn't hand you a card under my name. So, you stole it, right? Just admit it. Stop it. I didn't steal it. I just borrowed it. That's what I've been saying. Taking something without the owner's consent and using it without permission is typically called stealing, not borrowing. In other words, Emily, you committed theft. Theft? You think throwing around legal terms will scare me? Emily tries to act tough, but her voice is trembling. My sister works at a law firm. Didn't you know? A law firm? I'm aiming to be a lawyer. Right now, I'm studying while working as a paralegal. Hold on a second. What are you planning to do with me? Shall I explain the next steps? First, the victim files a report. Then there's an interrogation, evidence gathering, and if your guilt is proven, naturally, you'll be arrested. Zoe, you wouldn't do that, right? I only borrowed it, right? No, I'm the one who was affected this time. Since my name was used on the card without my knowledge, I will file a report. What? Then, I'll return it. Can't I just return it here? Well, along with the card, if you return the $20K you spent. No, precisely $20,650. Right now, we won't file a report. That's impossible. Right here and now. It's obviously impossible. Impossible now? Then when can you pay? When? I can't pay such a huge amount. Are you crazy? Do you realize that $20,650 is a huge sum? You use that amount without the cardholder's permission. Do you understand? But there's no evidence. Is there proof that I used it? All the purchased items were sent to your address, though? That's not evidence that I used it. I used a PC at an internet cafe, not my own PC or smartphone, so there's no way to know who used it. Emily's breathing becomes rough, her eyes bloodshot. She's desperately trying to wriggle out of this, but we can't let her get away with it. Then, Oliver speaks up out of the blue. Sis, there is evidence. Stop struggling. Evidence. There's no way there's such a thing. This is it. Everything we're talking about has been recorded. This is solid evidence. And Oliver takes out a voice recorder from his pocket and thrusts it at Emily. On my sister's instructions, Oliver had been told to record everything that happened in this room since Emily entered. You're gonna betray your sister even though you're my brother? Betray? It's not about that. You're wrong. I can't just stand by knowing you're doing something wrong as your younger brother. Are you stupid? Hand over that recorder. I'll destroy it. Emily tries to snatch the recorder from Oliver's hand. Emily, even if you take that, it's pointless. I have another recorder. Isn't that right, Zoe? Yes, I've been recording too. You're all ganging up on me. This is terrible. What did I do to deserve this? What did you do? Still haven't realized, huh? You've committed a crime. I could turn you over to the police right now. With a calm tone, my sister said that, and Emily froze for a moment, then slowly collapsed to her knees. It seems she has no intention of arguing anymore. In the end, my sister decided to withdraw the complaint and settle out of court. Emily had no way to return the $20K. She was taken back to her hometown, borrowed money from her parents, and fully refunded my sister. Under the supervision of her parents, Emily started working and gradually began repaying them. Even though they're Emily's parents, they're Phil and Mill to me, and they've been kind to me since I was a child. I felt somewhat sorry for them. But my Phil apologized, saying, "I'm sorry for causing trouble." And my Mill tearfully bowed her head, saying, "Please don't hold a grudge against our family because of this. Take care of Oliver for us from now on," which was comforting. They said that if she returned the full amount, they would sever ties with Emily. It's a bit pitiful, but she brought this on herself. I hope she can